And again, welcome to the Kirby Virtual Expo. As you know, we have typically had our Kirby Expo in our auditorium, but due to COVID restrictions and in consideration of your health and safety, we are doing the Expo virtually this year. Over the next 2 weeks, we'll present a series of online presentations by some of Calgary's leading providers of information and services, featuring a wide range of topics that will help you maintain a healthy and rewarding lifestyle and to live your best life. Today, we're very pleased to feature Cooperative Memorial Society and welcome Barb Montgomery and Sylvia Casper. Barb became the Society's membership manager in 2017 and after a 30-year career in hospitality. Barb assists people with getting lifetime memberships as well as provides information about how the Society works and how to bring peace of mind and comfort to those who need to use their memberships. Barb, just what is Cooperative Memorial Society and how can we benefit from becoming a member?
Thank you, Colleen, and thank you, Kirby Center, for this beautiful expo. Sorry that we're not in person this year, hopefully soon. And thank you, Sylvia Casper, for joining us. Sylvia is our vice chair on our board of directors and retired lawyer, so it's great to have her here to join us. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to use the chat button on your screen, and either Colleen or Sylvia will get those questions and we can answer them for you. The Cooperative Memorial Society is a group of individuals, members, which are all of us members, that formed to protect our members from funeral homes charging too much, when we are vulnerable and mourning our loved ones who we've lost. So the Cooperative Memorial Society goal is to promote education, association, other means, simple, rational, and dignified funerals with our service providers. We encourage our members to make their own funeral arrangements well in advance in an atmosphere that's free from emotional strain, and to promote fitting memorials that serve the living while honoring the deceased as well. Can everybody see the presentation screen okay? If you can't, maybe send us a little note in the chat.
It looks good.
Great. We are 55 years young. That's 1 year younger than me. We started in 1966, like I said, by a group of concerned individuals from the local co-ops, and we are like the cooperative grocery store. People call in a lot saying, are you the same co-op? And I say, well, we are a cooperative. We're a memorial cooperative, and what we do is help our members get affordable funeral options, and we are owned by you, our members. We are a non-profit cooperative incorporated under the Alberta Cooperatives Act, and we coordinate access to the simple and dignified funerals that would cost you much, much more without a membership. We do contract with locally owned funeral homes, family-owned funeral homes. We try to stay away from the larger corporations, and we support local. And we are one of the largest and most progressive memorial societies in North America. There are several memorial societies. British Columbia has a very large, beautiful memorial society, Red Deer and Edmonton in Alberta. Saskatchewan still has one, and Ontario has a very large one as well. So please feel free to go to our website if you're looking for information on those provinces. Memberships are easy to access. Memberships are safe and secure. Your information is safe and secure. The Cooperative Memorial Society is made up of a volunteer board of directors. We have very talented volunteer directors ranging from Sylvia, who's our retired lawyer. We have accountant, financial planner, teacher, nurse, social worker. So very talented volunteer board of directors who are very active in keeping this society and our members happy. We are also made up with a part-time membership manager, myself, and I help the directors take care of the memberships, people accessing their memberships and accessing information for their funeral planning. We have over 52,000 memberships sold since the 1960s. We have more than 13,000 active members, and probably a lot more, but the 13,000 we know are from members who have an email address, because that's our modern way of communicating with our members, with our quarterly newsletter and our annual meeting notices. If members do not have an email address, they are welcome to contact us and we can send them our information by mail. You can get the membership quite easily online on our website at www.calgarymemorial.com, and it would take a credit card, $42.15. You'll receive your membership package automatically to you with access to logging into your membership. And in there, you can start writing down your wishes and your next of kin, and it's completely private. And that's a nice feature of our online memberships. You can also register by telephone. If you don't have a computer, we are available 24/7 with our telephone number, which we'll show you at the end of the presentation. And if you can't make it to the end, it's 403-248-2044. And it's also on our website. There's a toll-free number if you're out of Calgary. Any questions yet? We have service providers in these regions of Alberta. Calgary, we have a very dominant service provider, McKinnis and Holloway, with 8 locations, and they have been around for 103 years. We've contracted with them until the end of next year. We have Airdrie, Cochrane. We also have many, many members in Banff, Rocky Mountain House, down in Nanton, all over the area. So it's still beneficial for them to have a membership and use the service provider in Calgary rather than other service providers that charge more. Medicine Hat, we have a great service provider, Cook Southland Funeral Chapel, and Tabor is very, very great service provider, Southland Funeral Chapel. Lethbridge, very busy with us as well, and Cornerstone Funeral Home is our service provider there at the moment. Our service providers are under contract with us with our membership pricing for the next, usually a 2 or 3 year term. So then those prices, we have our directors form a team and renegotiate our membership plans with them. They usually go up in price, but they're very good at negotiating for our members to get much better pricing, actually probably about $3,000 less with each of these service providers. Who can join the Memorial Society? Anybody can join. They must be living. Unfortunately, we do get calls with someone who just passed and the family is trying to get a membership, and it's just not possible. It's easy to register them while they're still with us, and that happens as well. You can do that online or call us. We can do it by phone in less than 5 minutes before a loved one passes. Children under 18 are automatically a member when their parent is a member, so that's a great benefit, and luckily we don't have to use those memberships too often with those member plans. Why should you join? Mostly to have our Memorial Society back you with your funeral arrangements with funeral homes. Secondly, to save money. On average, our members save $2,500 or more on their funeral plans. You can go to our website at www.calgarymemorial.com and click on the different plans within our different service providers and cities, and you can see the actual member plan and how much you'll be saving. Why else should you join? To have your say. You may want a simple funeral, but your family may think otherwise, and you can plan in advance with us. We can guide you with our guidance forms, and that way you'll have peace of mind knowing that your wishes can be carried forth when the time comes. It reduces so much grief on your family when they are trying to make hurried and expensive decisions, when they're very vulnerable. We get so many calls from families whose loved one who was a member has passed, and everything was prearranged, prepaid for, and they were so grateful that that happened that way. And so that's a great benefit of being a member, not only for yourself, but for your family and loved ones. And hopefully it will reduce family conflicts as well. Any questions? It's awfully quiet.
Barb, there have been a couple of questions in the chat box, which I'm answering, but we can review them at the end of the presentation as well.
Great, thank you. Can everybody hear okay?
Yes.
Great. Just have to move this. All right, so this is, oops. Along the lines of who can become a member, and it's nice to know that anybody can enroll someone else as a member. Consent is not necessary. They don't even need to know if it's something that's difficult for them to think about. So you can enroll your parents, you can enroll your adult children, you can enroll your neighbor, you can enroll anybody, and you can do that online. You would put in that member's name, the person you'd like to enroll, and you can even use your address and email address if that's more comfortable for you, and just send us a note that this is a discrete membership, and we'll definitely present that to the member on your behalf if that's something that you would like, and help you do that. It's happened many times, and actually just recently, and the family was very touched by somebody else purchasing that membership for their loved one. Parents may enroll their children. Children may enroll their parents. Registration is online. If that's preferable to you, it's fast and easy on our website. Click on the membership and just enter your name and address and your payment. And like I said, you'll get your automatic email registration and a link to print your membership cards from our website, your membership forms, just 2 forms, nothing too cumbersome. And if you don't have a computer, we are more than happy to talk to you on the phone. And again, that phone number is 403-248-2044. And you can see nice testimonial at the bottom left. Thank you so much for purchasing a membership for my husband. Because of your generosity, we saved almost $3,000 on John's funeral. That's money we can really use. So, and that happens a lot, and we're so happy to see that the Memorial Society helped do that. And why not have the savings go to the loved ones, and the funeral home can do without that. They've been gracious enough to give us our amazing price plans, so it's very classy. The total costs of your membership would be the $40 per person. It's not $40 per couple, and that's been $40 for a few years now. For the last 50 years before, it was $20, so we marked it up to $40, which is an incredible value still for what you receive. The middle box, cost of your plan, is an example of one of our membership plans in Calgary. It is the B1 basic cremation plan without a service, and right now the price is $1,225. And if you called any other funeral home, it would be probably $3,600 to $4,300 for the same plan. At the end of using the membership plan, we do collect a $35 record fee, and that's just paid on the invoice to the funeral home and goes back to the Memorial Society for administration costs. So this plan, in a nutshell, would be about $1,300 for your basic cremation, and along with the paperwork, 2 pages that you would fill out, you would be all ready and set, and your family wouldn't have to worry about a thing except the service. And you can pay for these plans. There are also burial plans with caskets included. You can pay for these monthly. You can make an arrangement plan with our service providers. You don't have to pay it all up front. Monthly payments, I pay mine over 5 years and then it's completely paid for. I've locked in today's price by choosing to pre-arrange my own funeral. My son said, "Mom, thank you very much." He doesn't have to do a thing. And if I do move away or I change my mind and I want to change a different plan, this pre-arrangement, this prepayment that I've made or you've made is refundable to you. So it's pretty safe and a pretty great benefit of being a member. You can see all of our membership plans on our website again. And for each service provider, they change, but they're incredibly great plans. Some costs that are not included in your service plans would be the cemetery fees, the grave markers and headstones, overtime weekend fees. Often if you have to meet with a funeral home on a weekend or a weekday night, there might be an extra fee, but you can always just ask and check with them. Embalming is not in our plans. Cremation is not included in our plans, except in Calgary it is. And then you can call us and we can give you those costs for the cremation in Lethbridge and Medicine Hat and Tabor. Oftentimes the obituaries are not included, the newspaper fees or obituary, most often they're not, and they can run up to about $800 for one-time Saturday newspaper obituary. So this service provider can help you with that, or you can pay for that as an add-on yourself. And catering and refreshments are not included in our member plans, but if you choose a membership plan that includes the funeral service, you can have that service at any location. It doesn't have to be at the service provider, the funeral home. You can have it at your own home or a church or another facility, and that's included in the plan. And then you would just add on your catering and refreshments. Sometimes transportation fees might be an extra cost if there is another transporter required to transport your loved one to the funeral home. There might be an extra cost, and you can find that out from the service provider as well, or give us a call and we'll find that out for you. Other than that, the plans that you'll see on our website and in our brochures are incredibly priced plans for what they include. The A1 plan is a burial plan with a casket included, the funeral service included, transportation to the cemetery included, and that anywhere in Calgary would be over $8,000, and our plan is $3,830. So definitely about $5,000 savings there. How to purchase a membership, many different ways, and we hope to make it as easy for you as possible. You can purchase them online on our website at any time, day or night. You can purchase them by telephoning us. I'll give you the toll-free number, 1-800-566-9959. If you'd like to call us, we can mail you the application form. We can send you anything you like by mail. So please feel free to give us a call and we'll get back to you with that. You can also purchase a membership at the Calgary Co-op grocery store locations at their guest customer service department. And as I said earlier, if it is urgent, we do get a lot of urgent calls, and that's totally fine. Call us and we will get that membership for your loved one right away. And your responsibility as a member, there's not a whole lot to worry about. Once you're a member, we send you the guidance form. It's two sides. One is your wishes, your plan choice, your service provider choice, just to make it easier for your loved ones to know what your wishes are. And the other side is a vital statistics form that asks you for some of your information that's required for a death certificate. And having that filled out ahead of time is much easier on your family when they might not know the answers to those questions at time of need. These forms are meant for you to keep at home. We do not need them back. They're meant for your family. But at the same time, you can fill this information all out online as well on your online membership profile. And that way it's stored in the cloud. And if we don't find a paper copy anywhere at time of need, we can refer to your membership profile to see what your wishes are. And that's very handy. We can help you log into your membership profile anytime, and you can update your wishes there. You can change your address there, which is nice and handy. And it's stored safely and securely. We just ask that members do advise. Perhaps you'd like a fridge magnet, we could send you one, you could put it on your fridge, or keep your membership forms on top of your freezer or somewhere where your family can find them. We advise not to keep your membership information in a safe deposit box because it's needed. You might not have time to wait over a weekend or a holiday for a bank to open to access that information. So keep it at home with your paperwork and where your family can find it. We do have, sadly, a call now and then from loved ones who found a piece of paper with a bit of writing on it, and it was a year after their loved one passed, and they called us and they already had paid for a big, huge funeral and didn't realize that they were actually a member of the Cooperative Memorial Society, and they could have chosen one of those member plans. So just let your family know that you're a member. It's nothing to be sad about. We can laugh and joke about being prepared and ready to go and giving our family peace of mind that it will be all taken care of and they don't have to worry about taking that on when the time comes. How to contact us right here. I hope you can see the screen. It is, let me move my face. Oops. The mailing address here, we have an office downtown. We don't work out of there at the moment, so please don't go through the blizzard on the bus down to the office to drop off your application form because we won't be there. Just stick it in the mailbox or give us a call and we'll mail you your application form or take your application by phone and mail out your membership package to you. So you don't have to leave the house. Again, our website is calgarymemorial.com. Our email address is admin@calgarymemorial.com. And that is pretty much it. I think we're at the end.
Thank you. That was great information. Thank you very much, Barb. What I might suggest as well is if you would like, we are recording the presentation, but it because of the volume of videos that we have going up, it takes a little bit of time. So what I might suggest is if you'd like to send me your contact information, afterward, I will make sure that I send it out to all the registrants so that they do have that. Any pertinent information that you might like to share right away that people might be interested in knowing, or how they can get in touch with you if you like. And if you'd like to end your screen share, then we can open up for any Q&A. And I think that Sylvia has been taking some questions here along the way. Sylvia, would you like to respond to some of those questions?
Yes, I will. Thanks, Tammy. First, let me apologize to everybody that I think I look like a ghost. There must be some, my name is Casper, but I am not Casper, the friendly ghost. However, I think there's something wrong with my camera, and I'll get it checked out before we have another presentation. So my apologies for looking so pale and wan. We have had a few questions over the time when Barb was presenting, and I've answered them as we went, but I'd like to just share them with the whole group. Tammy asked, do you pay membership once or do you pay it every year? And the answer, of course, is it's a lifetime membership. You only pay once, you never have to pay again. Tammy was also wondering, are the price comparisons, regular fees versus membership, funeral fees listed on the website? And the answer to that is that our prices are listed, but not the price that members of the public would pay for similar services. We know that our members save a lot, perhaps as much as 50%, but of course, everybody's selection of funeral goods and services is a little bit different, so we don't have those direct presentations. Judy is asking, is the membership fee per person or per couple? And the answer to that is it is per person, per adult person. David asks, does one purchase the plan from the Memorial Society or from the service provider? You purchase that directly from the service provider. We negotiate a contract with our service providers every 3 years that these plans can be purchased at a particular price. And either at time of need or when you decide to pre-purchase, then you make a contract directly with the service provider. Tammy was shocked to hear that it can cost up to $800 for an obituary. That's why we mention it. A lot of people think it's something you need to have, and they're just going to suck it up and pay that amount of money. It's not legally required to have an obituary, although many people do enjoy having them. If you want to have it, be prepared to shell out quite a bit of money. And you might consider whether you have a brief little obituary in the paper and then a more elaborate one posted on the web, or to hand out at the funeral to people who really are interested in knowing about your loved one. Okay. So I think those were the questions and answers that I got.
I love Tammy's idea here about updating her Facebook profile to say she's moved to heaven instead of paying the $800.
I thought that was a great idea too. Yeah, and I guess you could on your Facebook page too in advance tell your whole life story, or maybe you have anyway.
Yeah, it's a little disconcerting when you have friends and they're still popping up on your Facebook, even as a friend, even though you know they may have passed away, until someone thinks to take that down. Diane had asked about what do you recommend for people who pass away in another location, such as BC? Should they also buy the Memorial Society membership in BC? Is there such a thing there?
There is, I think Barb mentioned there's a large, very active Memorial Society that, excuse me, covers the whole province of BC. And you can transfer your membership in the CMS to the BC Memorial Society and vice versa, of course. Mm-hmm. In fact, your membership is transferable anywhere that there may be another Memorial Society.
That was a question that I had for you, as well as what happens if someone passes away here, one of your members passes away here, but they have a desire to be interred in another province. You handle the funeral service here, and then is it up to the family to get them to the other province?
The service provider can facilitate that for you. If it's a matter of being cremated here and having the ashes interred in another location, well, that's pretty easy. The service provider here will hand you the package of ashes and you can take it from there. If you want to have the body shipped for interment in another location, the service provider will arrange that for you. That, of course, is going to be an additional cost and not an inexpensive thing to do. But that's very important for some people, particularly members of certain ethnic groups or perhaps religious groups. It can be done.
Going back to your fees there and some of the exclusions, I saw like the headstone or the marker was excluded, but does the fee include the actual burial plot or just the funeral service providers fees?
It's the latter. If you do want to be buried, you need to purchase a plot within the city of Calgary. The best prices are to be had from the city-owned cemeteries, but you can go to the privately owned cemeteries as well. But that's going to be a separate and additional cost.
So you have your own plot, and then you buy the service, the membership for the funeral home services that are.
Yeah, that's right. What the funeral service provider will do is pick up the body from the place of death, prepare it for burial or cremation, get all the necessary permits and fees and all that sort of stuff. They will transport the body to the place of interment. But you, of course, have to pay the cost of the plot yourself.
Okay, so the plot and whatever service, refreshments, things like that you may have. How are people going back to funeral service now with COVID restrictions lightening a little bit, or are we still seeing more virtual type of services?
Want to handle that, Barb?
Sure. The service providers have graciously provided service options definitely throughout the past 2 years. It's been difficult with the restrictions coming and going and changing constantly, but they definitely offer the services in person or at graveside. Yes, for sure. And a couple other notes, which to Diane's question about if she's passing in BC, should she get a membership to the Memorial Society of BC? In some calls, I recommend people that travel back and forth or have a vacation home there to buy a membership at both, with us and with BC. And then if they pass in Southern Alberta or British Columbia, they have a service provider in both provinces. And another note about traveling outside of our Calgary area or our service provider area, the service providers, especially in Calgary, I'm not quite sure, but probably with the other providers, you can purchase a very inexpensive travel arrangement with them. In Calgary, it's about $595, and that will bring your body back from anywhere in the world back to here to have your membership plan go through, have your services provided for. So
valuable for snowbirds, perhaps.
Very valuable, and you can contact us or the service provider for more information about that.
Diane has a question here. I'm not sure whether you've covered regarding transferable nature of the membership. If I buy the membership in Calgary and the services here and pass away in Vancouver, does that mean she has to get a refund on the services and rearrange for services in BC if there's a service provider in both Calgary and Vancouver?
A couple of things there, and this is a frequent call that we get. The membership is transferable to the other society, but has to be done before passing. And if somebody's prepaid here, prepaid their whole funeral, and they move away to BC, they can purchase a membership from the Memorial Society of BC and then apply to have their prepaid arrangements to the service provider in their area in BC. And the funeral homes, the two funeral home service providers would do that together. If I've prepaid $5,000 in Calgary and I move to Vancouver, I can get my $5,000 refunded or just ask the new service provider to transfer that prepaid $5,000 to them. It won't provide the same membership plan because their plans are different, but it will apply the $5,000 to whatever they have to offer for their members.
So Barb, Diane may be thinking of the situation where you've gone on holidays to Vancouver or some other location and you sadly pass away. Am I correct in thinking that the service provider here in Calgary would reach out to a provider in Vancouver to try and arrange for the same funeral that had been prepaid here?
If they've prepaid?
Yeah,
Calgary?
yeah. So somebody's a member of the
Mhm.
Cooperative Memorial Society. They've prepaid Plan B1 or whatever. However, they're off enjoying themselves in Vancouver and they have a heart attack. What happens then?
Yeah, it would be best if they had a membership in BC as well with the Memorial Society of BC. Then they could possibly have that payment transferred to some sort of service there. If they didn't have a membership, then the service providers in BC are not obligated to honor our member pricings or transfer any pre-funded arrangements. But another scenario would be they could choose, if they're not a member in BC and the funeral home doesn't honor our membership pricing, they could pay for a small service. And then when they come back on behalf of that family member, they could have their prepaid arrangements refunded that are prepaid in Alberta. Those prepaid arrangements are held in trust by a third party, so they're not at the actual funeral home and they're refundable if they're not used.
But it sounds like going back to your previous, if they're just there visiting and they have a heart attack, if they have that clause that they could then be brought back to Calgary, then they could still take advantage.
It'd be great to buy the $595 travel
Mhm.
plan with the funeral home, and that would bring them back here. But all kinds of scenarios, and we do get all those calls. So please feel free to send us an email or give us a call and we'll help you with those questions.
It would be absolutely wonderful if we could predict what we do need to do and when.
Yeah.
Although I don't think anybody really wants to face that.
Well, the other thing to remember, Colleen, is just because you're all ready to go doesn't mean you have to go right away.
There you go. And you know what? I have a very bad reputation of always being late. And so I think that my headstone is going to read, and she was late for this too.